go on air. You know how crunchy these things are?
Yeah, ASM. Yeah, it's because I want to start doing like little like gifts and stuff like that. So when they come in, they're like, feel nice. But
I was like,
We
I'm
did that
totally
again.
about to be munching on these in the middle of the show right now.
yeah. Welcome to all my moms, pops, guardians, and guests. This is episode number 29, 28, 29. I'm not even sure. I'm gonna stop naming them or numbering them just so I can stop focusing on that. But this is the Mom and Pop Spot podcast. My co-host is out today. She's not feeling good, so we'll send our well wishes, blessings, and positive energy her way. But for today's guest, we have some real dope, down to earth fathers on the show.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
So please help me show love to Ty and Elijah to the show.
What's going on?
Yeah. How you guys feeling today?
What's up?
Yeah.
Wonderful, man. Appreciate you having me, man.
Yeah. How are you guys both doing 1 to 10 mentally and emotionally?
Shoot, man. 1 to 10, I think I'm like a 7 right now, man.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
1 to 10.
Yeah.
Oh man, right this second?
Yeah.
Right this second, right now, man. I'm like a 9.
Oh, that's good.
I mean, I'm always good when I'm here.
Yeah. Just as a father,
But,
on a father's spectrum.
On a father's perspective,
Yeah. Like how's fatherhood treating you like right this moment?
I would say probably like a 7.
Oh, okay.
6
I think
or
I'm at a
7, something like
5
that.
right now.
Yeah, I'm really happy about like a lot of the things that I've been like doing to impact my kids, but at the same time I feel like I'm a 7 just because like I'm questioning myself on a lot of things, being
Right.
like, hey, is this really gonna be good for them? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So yeah. If I look at my vision board though, I'll probably be at a 10.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think I'm about a 7 right now.
Yeah. I'm at a 5, and it's really because of the sitter issue thing.
Yeah.
So we had a sitter situation where now we're having to look for a sitter. We had one in mind, but the thing is like now my other 2 kids are out for summer break.
Yeah.
So, that number now, increases by 3.
Yeah.
And it's just been really hard because my baby, he's 2.
Yeah.
And the frustrating part about it is people think that my 2-year-old should be acting like a grown adult, like a quiet grown adult. And it's like, no, he's a baby, you know what I mean? And they tend to over dramatize how he is, whatever the case is. And I take it to heart. You know what I mean? Like that's my baby in the end. And they're like, oh, he was bad. And like, so I switched my schedule. Now I'm working nights, and it's not bad. Like I'm taking naps. He sits on my back, he watches TV. He has his toys next to him. I feel him on my back. I can take my nap. He's not bothering anything. I feed him. He's at the table. He's eating.
That's a beautiful moment too.
Yeah.
Or time span. You know what I mean? Because it's like you're just sleeping. You're just sleeping with him, but it's
I can feel his energy.
One of the best feelings in the world.
Yeah. And we've actually gotten a lot closer too now, because it's funny because sometimes my wife will get home from work, and when she gets home, I have to literally rush out, and I'm usually going to work. And sometimes she'll be like going up to him, and he'll be like, nah, like I'm chilling with my dad. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's a good feeling. It's like,
it's probably the same thing, you say you feel it, you're feeling and feeding off of his energy. It's probably vice versa. He might not understand it as much.
Yeah.
But that might be why that energy is kind of transitioning more towards you, because he's like, dad's giving me good energy too. I like this. I want more of this.
Yeah. And it's gonna be hard because this week, like I think they're switching me back up to days now. So that's gonna be a challenge. We'll see. But the part where it puts me at a 5 is because a lot of times when I'm reaching out like, hey, can you watch them? Like I'll pay you, whatever the case is. And they're just like, they make excuses sometimes, or sometimes I feel like they feed into the lie a little bit more. And it's like, just be honest with me. Like I'm a grown ass adult. You know what I mean? Just be honest. You don't want to watch them. Say you don't want to watch them, whatever the case is. So
that's not on you though. I wouldn't 5 you for that.
Yeah.
That's not on you.
It's just me on a personal thing. You know what I mean? Like I feel like, Yeah.
But I'm in the same boat, man, with you. That's exactly why I chose a 7. Just right now, I'm just hella busy. I'm not home much. You know what I mean? Like I want to say this last week there was probably I want to say like 2 or 3 days where I literally left when he was sleeping, and I came home when he was sleeping.
Oh, man.
So I like basically my son didn't know I even saw him for like 3 days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like that kind of bugs me sometimes.
And I know what you mean by that, because when I was working nights and my kids were in school, I didn't even see them before they even got out. I was kissing my wife. I got to go to work. You know, here's the baby, and I'm out. I get home, and they're already going to school. And my kids were just like, you know, is he here? Is he not here? No, I'm at work. And I try to call him, whatever the case is, and you can feel how the household changes a little bit. And you try to, like, you know, set it like, I'm at work. You guys are responsible. You guys need to own up and help your mama, you know, in this house, whatever the case is, whatever it ends up being. And anything challenging this week within parenthood?
Man, this week, let me see, man. I think, you know, trying to balance rest, you know, that I need,
right,
with, like, you know, time that I want to make sure that I have with them, because they're not going to be this age forever. You know, my daughter's 6, my son is 4, and it's really a special time, especially for my son. He's really, you know, kind of forming his mind on a lot of things and his opinion on a lot of things, and I definitely want to just be an influence on that. And yeah, man, I feel like I could definitely be more present, but at the same time, right, we're trying to provide. My wife is a stay-at-home mom, so, like, you know, I'm spending time out, you know, trying to provide.
Yeah.
So I need rest on my days off.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I gotta, you know, watch Sonic Part 2 with my boy. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Have you seen the new Mario?
The new Mario, yeah, we went to go see that.
What'd you think?
Man, I fell asleep, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that says it all. I was just sleeping and I dozed, and then, you know, he loved it though. My daughter loved it. My wife loved it, but I fell asleep, bro. Not because it was a bad movie, but because I was fucking tired.
Yeah, I've had plenty of those times where I'm just gonna take a quick nap. Yeah. What about you?
Pretty much the same thing, man. Just kind of you know, us fathers, I feel like all of us kind of go through it at some point, unless you've got your finances figured out.
I don't think you ever do.
Like, I mean, well, not figured out, but, you know, there's certain people who have their finances in order enough to make sure that they can satisfy their own expectations of themselves, of how much time they're putting into their children.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're 3 separate men where we're doing so much to provide financially that it's kind of messing up that balance.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's usually my biggest challenge, and it's me. Honestly, it's me in my head, and being like, you know, hoping that what I notice, my son doesn't notice.
Yeah.
Like when I have those moments, like I was just saying, like when I have those moments and it hits me, and it's like, fuck, I basically haven't seen my son in 3 days.
Yeah.
Like, did he notice that? Like, did he notice that?
You wonder if they notice it.
They do.
Most important.
Kids are smart. We underestimate them a lot of times.
For real.
Yeah. They feel it. They know it.
Yeah.
So what are you doing to cope with that?
Trying to be more conscious about it. Trying to do my best to balance it out more, instead of being so engulfed in work.
Yeah.
Trying to rearrange work to make sure that it doesn't interfere with the possible times that I can spend with him.
Okay.
At the same time, oh, my fault. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say real quick, like last week, I forget exactly what day it was, but I basically sat down with him and let him know. I was like, hey, I'm here right now. I'm gonna spend the next 30 minutes doing this, focusing on my business. After that, I got an hour and a half for you, buddy.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? He's like, I want to watch a movie. I was like, all right, cool, let's watch a movie. So I did my work for 30 minutes. I made sure I put that hour and a half with him. We sat down, we watched Sing 2 for like the 3rd time.
It's a classic. I like that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. But it was what he wanted to do, you know, and I tried to make sure that I that was for him. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, whatever you want to do, we got an hour and a half, whatever you want to do. So trying to incorporate those moments more, and trying to be more conscious of trying to incorporate that more, because like I said, that when that happened, I was just so engulfed in work at that time. Like, it didn't really click that it was just like, damn, the last 3 days, I kissed my son before I left.
Yeah.
I kissed him when I got home. He was just out. He was asleep. You know what I mean? So I'm sure most men who are in our position, most fathers who are in our position can relate to that. Sometimes you just get caught up in the schedule and then the monotony of what you're supposed to be doing, and then you kind of have a moment to look back at it, and you're like, oh shit. So,
and that's why I think these episodes are important, because the fact that it needs to, one, reflect that fathers matter too, you know what I mean, and two, being the fact that they can kind of give some understanding, because I think a lot of times us as fathers, we get under-evaluated. They don't see the fact that we're just trying to figure it all out as we're going. We don't have time to sit and like let me plan. Like, nah, we're going, you know, as we're trying to make it, you know?
Yeah. What I was gonna say was, at the same time, I like to just explain things to them. Where I'm at, why I'm away, the whole purpose I'm going to work in order to get money, in order to do this, so that we can do this. You know what I mean? So like I have that talk with my 6-year-old, my 4-year-old, so that they know. I think that way that they can't really like, you know, they honor it at that point, because they're like, oh, okay, you're doing this for us, and also this is gonna make way for us. I'm like, hey, if we do this, hey, we're gonna be able to go on this little cruise, we'll be able to have a blast, you know. So I think, you know, while I'm trying to still balance it, in order to, you know, kind of stay grounded and also keep them grounded and understand what the reality of the situation is, I gotta explain to them why I'm away working.
I'm very honest with my kids too, because the fact that like I need them to know that sometimes with sacrifices and consequences comes relatable issues. You know what I mean? I need them to know that, hey, sometimes we can't get it because of the fact that we're not in that financial situation where we can just get it. We sacrifice a little bit now, then we can, you know, do that later on. You know, business before pleasure kind of situation. The other thing that I tell them too all the time is make sure your bills are always paid. Don't try to like, and I say this because I have a few family members they'll get paid and they'll be like, oh, like we can, you know, we'll pay this amount towards this bill. We'll pull back and, you know, we'll pay that bill next. Like, no, like make sure your grounding is set first before you can walk, you know? And I think that's what we need to, that's why I tell my kids, you know, make sure your guys' you know, necessities are done first, and then you can enjoy it. Not saying that don't, because you know, a few actually books mention it is to pay yourself, and I believe in it too. Pay yourself in the process, because the fact that like you still need to have some enjoyment, because if not, what ends up happening, it sacrifices your mental health. Mental health is big.
Pay yourself first, and at the same time get them involved in that. One little tradition that we do is that when income comes in, I have them, because we do 3 things. We have like 3 envelopes for each of us. My family: savings, investment, and charity.
Nice.
And so what I'll do is, when I get income, we'll count like 10% of my income, right? And we'll put a piece of that in each envelope. And I'll have my daughter like count it out. You know, my son also helps out with that. So they're seeing like, yo, this is the practice you want to do. You don't want to spend all your money. You want to pay yourself first. This is how you pay yourself. Make sure you just have this, you know, regular habit where you're always stacking up money in savings, putting up some money to invest, and then some money that you'll be able to help anybody out. You know, so.
It's important. Very
important. I think I'm slightly different with that though. Like I hear that saying a lot, and I don't totally agree with it, because if we're being 100% honest and being 100% logical, I truly believe you should pay yourself second.
So who would be your first?
Your necessities, your bills, your rent.
That's where I teeter-totter.
You know
that's what I'm
mean?
saying. That's why I was saying like earlier with your necessities, and then because there's some bills. I mean, I think you should pay yourself before you pay your bills.
I mean, if it's going to jeopardize paying the bill, I don't think you should, because the whole purpose of paying your bills, whether it be your rent or not, or your rent and your electricity and stuff like that, or it be a debt you're paying off, is to make sure that stuff is balanced. So I feel like there's no reason why you should be putting your personal financial wants over a debt.
Right. So let me correct myself. I guess what I meant is you should pay the necessities is your credit. Anything that's going to affect your credit, because credit is gold.
Definitely better pay that first.
Yes. Pay anything that's going to affect your credit. You know, that should be the priority. When I'm saying like pay yourself first before other bills is like, sometimes, you know, we worry about paying, I don't know, like there's certain things that we might pay and it might be considered a bill, but it's more of a leisure activity. Pay yourself first, because the fact that, you know, you just, treat yourself, from time to time.
See,
you know what I mean?
that's what I'm saying. Like that's where I'm different because I don't separate them.
Yeah.
Like a bill is a bill to me. It's a bill. A bill is debt to me, and my goal financially is to be debt free.
Yeah.
So my debt comes first.
Yeah.
And then everything else.
And just to put it in
context, sorry to cut you off, but just to fully explain my thought process on it.
Yeah.
Debt, family, me.
Okay.
Because I put family in the sense of like, say the family van.
Yeah.
My lady drives the family van. My kids are going to be in there.
Yeah.
Family van needs brakes.
Yep.
I got this much money. Am I going to break this off for me? Am I going to pay me first, or am I going to get those brakes taken care of first?
Yeah.
My family comes first.
Yeah.
I'm taking care of those brakes. If I got $5 left to put in my pocket, I guess I got $5 left to put in my pocket.
I guess we're on the same page on that part too, because the fact that
definitely on that part.
Yeah. I don't pay. When I say pay myself too, let me elaborate a little even more on that. I know it's a thing that fathers do. When we say pay ourselves, we're not paying ourselves. Like
it's not.
We're always on the back burner, and that's the reason why Mother's Day is so glamorized, and Father's Day it's like, oh, give him a pair of socks and a tie. You know what I mean? It's because it's saying that we're happy with the little things. Like not saying that the mothers aren't, is because of the fact that we know that we have a job to do and we're doing it.
Yeah.
When we say pay ourselves, is because at least for me, my own opinion, if I take my kids out to eat or if I do something as a family, that's me paying them because their happiness is a token to me. That's me paying myself by seeing their happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just to put in context for me, like, first person that really gets paid a lot of times, especially on a W-2, is the government. They take their money before it comes to
before you even get it.
You don't even have a choice.
Yeah.
So when you think of it that way, it's like, nah, scratch that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if without me, there is no paying the government in the first place.
Yeah.
And when I say without me, I'm talking about as far as assets, you know what I mean? Trying to make sure that I'm putting away money to be able to purchase assets, because the more assets I have that pay me, the less I'm going to have to work, which is going to free up my time, which is going to let me get more time with my family.
Right.
So like, paying yourself first is for freedom. Paying yourself first is because it's just right, because, you exist, you're number one.
Yeah.
And the government is, what I'm saying? Like, you paying Joe Biden right away. First, he gets that first 25% straight up. Wow. You ain't even we haven't even had a conversation about it. It's done. It's gone.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna definitely make sure that myself, as far as like I said, savings, investment, and charity, I'm making sure that those continue to grow every time I get a dollar. That those must grow. And then with the bills, and as far as what we call necessities, it's going to depend on, well, what is a necessity?
Right. And that's where I was kind of going. Yeah.
Yeah. So what it's like, well, do I need to have a cable bill that big? Do I need to have that level cell phone plan?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Do I need to have this, that? A lot of things that we might think are necessities aren't actually necessities. But you definitely better be saving for your retirement. Definitely better be investing, having your money work for you.
Right.
And you definitely better be trying to help.
You know what kills me though? One thing to kind of go off of that statement is I get frustrated, and I mean this with all respect, but we depend so much on like the GoFundMes and everything else when we have the perfect capabilities to do it now. Stop waiting until it's the last minute. It's like, oh, like GoFundMe now, t-shirts, car washes. It's like,
bro,
dude, we need.
Man, I've been trying to find, like, I'm thinking I might just end up going into my old notes and just bringing shit out. But I've been trying to find a life insurance person for Wealth for Generations to come bring them on and just like break it down, because it's it's in our culture and in the low income area. Life insurance is viewed as such a negative thing. They're viewed like they're put in the same category as like a car salesman.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And people don't really see the value of it. Yeah, yeah. In some cases, there are car salesman type life insurance people.
Yeah.
But if you do your due diligence, life insurance is very vital and can be very beneficial. And then you don't have to do like what you're saying. You don't have to have that GoFundMe.
Yeah.
And then you're hoping that your personal community can come through and help you out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is BS. Like, why are you holding your personal community responsible for your family's loss?
Yeah. A lot of times it's just the obligation now. Now someone feels obligated, like, oh man, I seen this post, or now I have to. And it's like, set yourself up now. sometimes, it's those sacrifices that you do them now, you don't have to worry about it later.
And people don't really understand either, though, too. Like, yeah, everybody's different. I want to say it's similar to like weddings. Some people can just go to the courthouse and get it done.
Yeah.
Some people want to drop a couple $100,000. You know what I mean? Having a lavish thing. Same thing with funerals. You know what I mean? You could spend like $5 to $10K and have your funeral done. You know what I mean? You might not have a fancy reception, you might not have a fancy coffin and stuff like that, but I feel like people should be out there at least setting themselves up for life insurance to take care of that bare minimum.
Right.
And that makes it way more affordable. Yeah. If you set yourself up for at least like a 30, 40, 50K payout for your life insurance, that's something that could be affordable. You could possibly be paying like $20, $30 a month for something like that. And then the biggest thing I used to tell people about when I was doing life insurance was the medical bills. Mm-hmm. If you haven't gone through dealing with a loss, people don't even think about the medical bills, because when you pass away, you're most likely going to go to the hospital first. Those bills rack up, and when you pass away, who's going to pay for that stuff? Yeah. You know what I mean? Whoever's next of kin is going to have to take care of those finances. Yeah. But if you could set yourself up to have at least 20, 30, 40, 50K, you can get yourself taken care of as far as your funeral arrangements, on at least on the lower end, the lowest end possible. You can start there, and then you can also most likely take care of your medical bills with that first 30, 40. Yeah. Now, if you want to go higher, that's up to you, but I just recommend trying to get that minimum set. You know what I mean? But that's my life insurance, right?
But you can't. No, that's needed. That's necessary, because life insurance isn't even on people's radar.
Yeah.
Now, that actually goes into paying yourself first. No, one reason nobody's paying for life insurance is because they're paying their bills and they don't even they don't even think about the future.
Yeah.
So like, for me, the life insurance is coming out automatically.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Too.
Yeah. So like, but that's paying yourself first. Yeah, that's paying yourself first.
Yeah.
Because you need to automate it, and you need to make sure, because the government, it's automated, it's coming out, bro. But you need to automate that.
And I also
make it a practice.
Sorry to jump in real quick, but I also have my Robinhood automated.
Yeah. You're doing it, so you're doing it already. So he's not necessarily paying his bills first. You're paying yourself first on that, and that's what I actually mean.
Yeah,
that's you.
Those two. Yeah.
That's you, and your seed. That's your legacy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he's paying himself first.
Yeah, and to extend on that too, I think what people need to look into is create a trust, so that way you don't have people fighting over it and everything else.
I don't have one yet, but I'm definitely looking at that.
That's what I got. So that way, I just.
Did you do it yourself, or did you do it with like?
I had someone do it for me.
Okay, yeah. How did that go?
It went super easy. I went through work and I told them exactly what I wanted. They took care of everything. They come here and sign here, and then that was it. I set specific people to do specific roles.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that I don't want someone coming in and like, let me help you out, or let me do this. Like, no, like there's specific people that are gonna help out, whether I pass, whether me and my wife pass, whatever the situation ends up being. My kids are not gonna get paid right away. Mm-hmm. It's gonna take a process. They got stuff that they gotta do. They gotta make sure that they're doing something for themselves in life. They got to make sure that they're doing some type of, not education, but like
stipulations to achieve. Or
really?
Yes, because they're not getting any handouts. I still want them to work for themselves. I want them to have a future for them. I tell my kids all the time, like when they get of age, they don't have to move out. They want to stay there their whole entire life. Build that way. They are not pressured to move out.
Yeah.
The other thing too is if they don't want to go to college, you don't have to go to college. You don't want to go to trade school. You'll save, 3 times the money.
Boom.
You know what I mean? Like,
language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's important. I think these are the conversations we need to be having, in regards to your life insurance, in regards to trust. And, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, man. Me and my wife be talking a lot about a trust. Matter of fact, like, because we don't have a marriage contract.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I call her my wife though, because she's my wife.
Yeah.
Period. Mm-hmm. I don't need to tell Joe Biden that that's my wife.
Yeah.
And what we're talking about, just to tie this in with the trust, we're doing a trust. That is our marriage contract.
Yeah.
And so that's one of our goals for this year, is to open up a trust. And we're both in on it. And basically we're beneficiaries depending on, what happens, and everything like that. But like, that is our contract, because that is actually having to do with us and not having to do with what like the government wants to register us under. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And so, there's easier ways to do it too, because the fact that like you can do just a way to kind of save yourself money or whatever the case is, and then do it quick form.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's simple ways to do it, so that way you don't have to worry. You just want to make sure you get it in writing.
Yeah, exactly.
Because anybody else can get a hold of it and say, "Oh, this is what this person wanted." And that's one thing that I hated to see, because I've seen it on both sides of my family, where we had a death, and before the funeral was over, people were already moving stuff out of their house.
Crazy.
Like, it is crazy.
Yeah.
Damn,
did you have to file it with the state or something, or federal?
Yeah.
Anything like that? You did have to
well,
file it.
the trust, they took care of everything.
Okay.
All I knew was just tell them what I wanted.
Right.
I left. A couple of weeks later, they told me, okay, it's done. We're gonna notarize. You're gonna sign it. We're gonna notarize it.
Yeah.
And then I actually had the big old booklet that says exactly what I want.
Nice.
How it's supposed to be.
Okay, got you.
I'm like blanking on the title of the position right now, but I highly recommend that you both look into basically what the position is you can appoint someone to access your finances after you pass away.
Yeah, so I have one of those.
Especially for
Trustee?
you.
Yeah.
It's not a trustee.
No, it's like
it's like something with an A, I believe.
Oh, attorney.
Basically, it's kind of like a person that has attorney of
power of attorney.
No, but
it's kind of like that, but that's not the actual title of it.
Okay.
But basically, so what happens though? But I recommend it more towards you, since you guys aren't like on paper marriage.
Yeah.
So if something happens, court can stand in, or your mom or your dad can stand in and overrule her decisions.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because it would be blood. First, next of kin has choices of. So like if you're on your deathbed or something like that, she wouldn't have a choice because you guys aren't married on paper.
Yeah.
But you could legally on paper put her in a position where she does have that
through a trust
power. Not necessarily through a trust. You can do it for your finances, you can do it through your life insurance.
Okay.
And then for I think it goes through life insurance too for decisions like that too. So like if you are in a car accident or something, they're like, oh, you want to pull the plug, or like the decision will be hers, not your parents or your brother, or if your parents are passed, it'll be stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So because me and Jess have been talking about doing that for years, but we're thinking that we're actually probably going to just go ahead and put it on paper instead of going that route.
But
at any time you guys just need someone to marry you quick, I could also do that as well.
Yeah. Actually, he's certified.
Bro, I know you'd be that'd be lit.
yeah. I actually married someone. I married my nephew not too long ago. So yeah, I'm trying to get some more under my belt. And it was funny because my sister had told me, she was like, if you get the license, like, or whatever the case is, I'll let you marry me. And then going to someone else, and I was like, shoot, I just want to marry just one person to say like I affected someone in their life, whatever. My nephew right away, he was like, hey, can you marry us? I was like, yeah, I'll do it. He's like, what about tonight? I was like, for reals? And he's like, yeah. So then I had to like quick research, make sure everything was done, and
on the fly.
That's
wild.
That's tight though.
So,
this guy Patrick, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a few more things under my belt, just because the fact that I invested in a print machine, I invested in a 3D printer, and
let's start slinging Glocks.
Well, see, here's a process for it. I'm
joking, people. I'm joking. I'm not trying to encourage him to 3D print guns.
Yeah, I want my kids. I told my oldest, I'm like, this is your responsibility. You figure it out. That's gonna be your way to make money. I told my son the other thing. I'm like, this is how you're gonna make money. I don't want them coming to me to asking me for money.
Right.
Figure out how to make money, and then this will be your bank right here.
See, man, that's the whole premise of the empire that I'm building right now. Like I'm trying to be. Because a lot of people tell me like, oh, you got so much going on with the like they don't understand like the purpose. There's two reasons. One is because I'm kind of overactive person and I gotta have a bunch of shit going on. But the other thing too is I'm trying to build an empire and make it as broad as possible. So then when my children are ready to get into the workforce or be independent and do whatever they want, I can be in a position to where I can be like, oh, you want to be a credit person? Dope. I know. My boy Ty. Maybe I can send you over and you can do an apprentice for him or something and get the ins and outs, or shadow him for a day to see what he has to do in that position to see if you really like it. Oh, you want to do a registration job or something? Oh, let me talk to my boy Patrick. You can shadow him at Tesla for a minute and see how you like the position. You know what I mean? Like my oldest right now, he or just his oldest, however you want to look at the oldest right now, he just did the same exact thing I'm talking about. I didn't set it up. But Jess knows a woman by Gabriella who knows a chiropractor. And he was interested in being a chiropractor. So they set it up for him to go shadow the chiropractor so he can get an idea of the position and be like, oh yeah, I guess I do kind of like this. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's why I'm building what I'm building right now. So then when my kids are ready to be like,
they're well cultured,
I want to
well
see what's in
rounded.
this. No problem. Let's go over here, talk to this guy. We'll see if we can get you in there just to watch it and see if that's something where you really want to go, instead of being that person. Like because I feel like it could be a waste of time if you're that type of parent that's always just like gun ho about every single thing they want. Like don't get me wrong. Like I don't want you to not encourage your children, but I feel like some people go way overboard where they're like, oh, he just grabbed a stick and started jumping on the pans. I'm gonna buy him a whole drum set. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm like, nah, he was just jumping on the pans. Like, you don't need to get him a whole drum set yet. You know what I mean? But you could, if you had that inclination of the child, I could be like, you know what? I know some drummers. Yeah. Let me take him over to my boy Casey's. He's a well professional drummer. You know what I mean? He's got plenty of years of practice. Let me take him over there, sit him down with him, get some experience, and see if he really likes it. And then from there, well, he's a natural. He really likes it. Let's get him a drum set. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm kind of like that too, because I told my kids and even my wife, like my ultimate goal is to have my kids learn one instrument. I want them to know one leisure activity. So like, whether it's dancing, whether it's DJing, whether it's something. So that way if they go to a party, they can interact with someone. They go to a music festival, they can interact. Like no matter where they go, they can relate to something. And then my other goal too was, as I wanted to be able to visit all 50 states. Unfortunately, the society we live in, we can't go to all 50 states because some places just ain't safe. You know what I mean? So I want them to go to enough states that way they can be, versus having to read it out of textbook. They can say, "I've been there. I understand that. I know exactly where that place is at." Yeah. Another question before we go into the break. What makes a successful father, and what makes a deadbeat father?
Man.
I would say successful would involve, because I feel like there's no correct answer to that technically, but success would involve presence,
Okay,
love, protection, guidance. I would say those are some of the major ones. But like I said, I kind of feel like there's not a solid answer for that. Deadbeat, on the other hand, that's easy to do.
Exactly.
You're the exact opposite. You're not present. You're not providing any love, any protection, you're not providing anything. You know what I mean? A deadbeat is someone who's
let me just add to that. When you say he doesn't show up, I want to make sure you guys know out there as well, is when he means not show up, means that they're willingly not wanting to show up, because there's plenty of situations where the mom is making it very hard for the father to be in the picture.
Oh yeah.
I know a few fathers, and they're really good people, and
the father's choosing not to show up, not that he can't show up.
And mothers, you got to stop doing that, because these fathers want to be a part of their lives. Let them be the part of their lives. You know what I mean? Just stop looking at it as for a financial gain. Let them see their kids as well.
Yeah, because sometimes the fathers are turned into deadbeats by that. Because, like me personally, honestly, as much as fucked up as it sounds, if I was in a position and a woman was making it hard as hell, like for me to see my kids, like I may go legal at one point, but if it's too much work, you know what I mean? If I'm stressing out, losing sleep, falling back into my migraines, and just my world is just being totally fucked because this woman won't let me see my kids, I might end up choosing to be non-existent, because it will be easier for me that way. And it would ultimately be easier for the child as well, because then they're not gonna have to feed off that energy of the toxicity of that relationship as well. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to just remove yourself from that toxic shit, man. And as hard as it is, trying to remove yourself from your own seed, sometimes it's the best choice.
Some of these moms drag these fathers to the mud.
And that's it. In that situation, man, that's happening, all over the place. In that situation, my definition is really that, like, as far as for a deadbeat dad, just because if we talk about roles, a father is also supposed to provide, right? So, like, at the minimum, you definitely want to make sure that you're up on your child support. You definitely want to make sure that you're sending bread. Hopefully she don't put you in a position that you got to do child support.
Yeah.
And because you're already like, hey, I'm just going to be sending them bread.
Right.
Oh, really? You're not trying to let me see him? All right, bet. Here's some bread regardless because they're not a part of this. I can't, this is between me and you. If there is any resentment, I have nothing against them.
Yeah.
They need clothes, they need shoes, they need an education and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So they're just going to be getting that regularly. But for a deadbeat dad, that would mean that they'd be like, nah, scratch all of y'all.
Yeah.
This is over with. I'm not even going to send them no bread. Even though it's not even his fault, it's the woman's fault that he can't see them. Still, I think at a minimum, you should be providing regardless.
Something,
because the kid's definitely going to figure it all out later.
Yeah.
And the moment they realize, oh, she was blocking you, but you was still holding me
That's
down.
the biggest karma.
Boom.
Yeah.
They're going to flip the whole script on her, and they probably going to cut her out the whole picture on their own.
Yeah.
And so as long as you, just do your part, you're going to actually end up good. But a deadbeat dad is not going to do his part.
Yeah.
And actually, that's exactly what I was thinking when you were saying that. Like, if I were in that position, I feel like I would be one of those exceptions to where, like, all right, I can't be around, and I can't be around, but at least let me stay updated on your address. I'll send you a couple hundred every month or whatever. Like, I'll still send you money and shit. But if we're gonna be like damn near physically fighting every time I come pick up my son or my kid. I can't deal with that every
Not
week.
At all. That's too toxic.
You know what I mean?
Kids
Like,
don't need to see that either.
Yeah,
that too. Yeah,
because then you just create that toxicity with them now. Yeah,
and then you got a Chris Brown and Rihanna.
Yeah. So before we continue, we're gonna take a quick potty break. But before we do, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe to this channel, and share this video for support. We'll be right back.
Yeah, I really gotta take a
because they try to
welcome
a couple things.
And back, everybody.
Habari Entertainment Films present There's Only One Name for News with Damon and Iesha. Habari Live Podcast. Habari Entertainment, a race against time. On a quest for glory. Habari News Weekly, HabariEntertainment.com. Catch us for more. Visit us, HabariEntertainment.com.
Hey, yeah, straight training voice.
Yeah. Welcome back. So I would love to hear your guys' opinions on these situations. A man on a Fort Lauderdale-bound flight decided to throw a fit, which got him kicked off the plane. The mid-air meltdown happened aboard one Southwest airline flight due to the baby crying. The man was seen losing his cool, screaming at the top of his lungs after a baby was crying for an extended period of time. I saw that video. What are you guys thinking about that? Not that video in specific, but just in general. Like, you're on a flight, baby's crying, like.
Part of the reason I don't really fly that much.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it's something you...
Would you have gotten that mad?
No, because I feel like it's something you got to deal with, dude. Yeah. Like, it's like...
He was yelling at the baby? Or what was that? What was that?
He just threw a big old tandem. He was just... in this video specific, he was just upset. He was yelling because of the baby, but I think it was overall, like... Jimmy, how would you explain it? Like, he was just...
So, the baby was crying. Okay. And he was like... They were like, "Oh, the baby's upset," and he was like, "I'm upset." He was like, "What about me?" So,
okay, yeah, this is what it was. This is interesting. Okay,
that's basically what it was.
Yeah.
So he wasn't like mad at the baby. He was mad at like
the situation.
The situation.
Yeah.
Getting annoyed with the noise and stuff though. That's why I was saying like
he's mad at the baby and the situation.
Yeah.
He's mad that they brought a baby.
I feel like and I think this is a good example because a lot of people can go one way and a lot of people can go the other way.
Yeah.
I feel like something like that, getting irate over it, is just as similar to someone getting pissed off that you got your shoes stepped on when you're in the club.
Yeah.
You borrowed out your brand new fucking shoes that you only wore once. You paid $250. You went into a crowded ass club with poor lighting and drunk people, and then you get fucking livid because someone stepped on your shoe. That's the environment, bro. You knew what you were walking into.
You must have stepped on somebody's shoes before, Elijah.
What?
You must have stepped on somebody's shoes before, buddy.
I am actually an adult, sir. I've been to many clubs.
And I think in this case particular, I think as me as a father, I'm like, kid has a baby, like it sets your tone down a little bit. So where, maybe I didn't have kids, maybe that was the reason why I got upset.
That's exactly what I was thinking too when you were going through it. I was like, that guy probably ain't got no kids.
Yeah.
I mean, I've definitely yelled at my kids.
Yeah.
And then I mean, yeah, that's a crazy situation. Since I didn't see the video, I'm not sure like really like what dude was going through.
Yeah.
But if he was like being also pressured by, hey, can you tell your kid to keep it down or something like that? I don't know what was going on. If
no, it wasn't his kid.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't his kid.
It wasn't his kid.
This is not his kid.
No.
Oh,
he got mad at someone else.
Complaining about the kid being loud and crying on the plane.
Oh yeah, dog. I would be pissed too. I can see his position there because it's just really foul to really put yourself in that situation and put everybody there in that situation. And however, people need to travel with kids.
Yeah.
But it's just really foul, like if you don't have.
So you're on the guy's side.
In line. Yeah, low key. Like if he's yelling because like, yo, tell your kid to keep it down. I felt that feeling like, yo, hey, you gotta tell your kid to chill, dog.
But I mean, it's a baby, you know what I mean? And
it is a baby. It is a baby.
I mean, with a crying baby, I can understand if you got like a toddler and your toddler's getting out of hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta see the
like
video,
an infant
maybe.
or something like that.
Yeah.
And the thing too,
probably wilding out.
Yeah, he was wilding out. And
the
thing too is he made it worse by throwing a fit. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
Had he would have just simmered down the situation, like it probably would have,
I'm gonna throw my headphones on or something.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I'm like about to wild out for that.
What about this one? A Cali mother of 3 won't date a dad of kids because she says he needs to focus on her kids.
Wait, say that again?
Strategically.
Yeah. Mom of 3 doesn't want to date this father. She does this whole rant and how she
has kids too.
Yeah.
And he won't be able to focus on her kids.
Yeah.
If they get together.
Correct.
That sounds selfish as fuck.
It is very
she has
selfish.
A point. She will find a man that will do that. She will find that.
I hope not.
I don't know if she will. That's just it.
I hope she won't because that is such a selfish view, bro.
No, there's dudes that do that.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Because I kind of believe you're right to an extent.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: is and I hate to sound like a misogynist, on the show, but if she's pretty, she can do that 5 times over. She can have 10 kids and marry someone that doesn't have kids because of her looks. Like
exactly.
Yeah. So
I mean.
I get it.
Yeah.
But I think it's stupid because you could easily marry somebody that doesn't have kids, and they could not give a fuck about your kids because you already have kids.
Yeah.
Like, so it really depends on the guy. Just because he has kids or not, it depends on if that guy is going to step up and be a stepfather.
Exactly. 100%.
That's what she needs to find out. It doesn't matter if this motherfucker
I don't think
has
she cares.
kids.
I think she just,
you know what I mean? Like, look at the Brady
selfish.
Bunch.
I think her clarity and putting that out there is definitely valid. I think that's legit. And if that's what she's looking for, boom, there it is. And there will be a person out there that can accommodate that.
In this particular video, she was outing this guy because the guy was like going to provide her, a nice life. But I think he had like maybe 2 kids, maybe 3 kids. And she was putting him on blast. Like, I will not date you. This is
no, that's foul. She should be moving on. Yeah, that's foul. That's foul. Like, that's the dude. That's his situation.
Yeah.
That's not your guy then.
Right.
If this is what you want, that's just not your guy. Move on.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's selfish shit. Like,
that is
if it was in a different situation, if she was like, all right, let's blog about this. This is hypothetically speaking, if this happens, and she was like, this is my opinion, then I'm like, all right, I can respect your opinion.
She can't judge a dude.
But if she's like, nah, I dated this dude for like a month, and he got kids, and I can't fuck with that because blah, 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 blah. No, you should have put that shit on the table when y'all met. You shouldn't have dated him for a month.
Yeah.
Now you're complaining because you can't change him?
What about this one? A father in Arkansas had pierced his teen's ear. His son had mentioned to a friend and was overheard by a teacher. The story got a little over-dramatized, and teacher reported to officials stated that the father forcibly pierced the teen's ear, which led to a search warrant and a roughhousing arrest was made.
That's why my kids are homeschooled.
Yeah.
I'm definitely leaning towards that too.
These cats is like, I mean,
he got arrested because of child abuse. Yeah.
The teacher, whatever, it was a teacher that reported it.
Yeah.
Probably had.
She reported it to the officials, which got him arrested.
Yeah. Probably had good intentions and all that.
And kids love to talk. It could have easily been the situation like, oh man, I got my ears pierced, and then the teacher probably said, well, you're not supposed to have your, and he's like, oh, my dad, the story could have gone.
Extra, dog. Just teach.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a fine line. I mean, I feel like respectfully, if it's really bad, you know what I mean? If a kid's coming in with black eyes and shit like that, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But sometimes, like Ty said, know your role, bro.
Yeah.
Like that'd be like a random person overhearing a conversation with you and your kid in the store.
Yeah.
Similar to that, and then them stepping in. You know what I mean? Would that be acceptable if you're in the store and like someone's trying to step in or you're just yelling at your kid? Your kid's being bad in the store, and you're just yelling at them at the top of your lungs, maybe even throwing a couple empty threats like, I'm gonna whip your ass when we get home, blah blah blah, and someone overhears and they call the cops and like, oh, CPS for this guy. Like, that's mind your fucking business.
Yeah.
Like, mind your business.
It's messed up all the way. It's just, I don't know. Teachers should have just been like, you know what? Like, it's not an unhealthy situation, so I'm just going to leave this one go.
Mm-hmm. Or even went to the...
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Just afterthoughts.
Yeah.
I was going to say, or even just went to the parents directly.
See, that's what I was thinking too. I was thinking about when I heard it.
Why not have been like, hey, so I was just a little concerned. Your son was saying something about you forced his ear pierced. He didn't want it pierced or something. You know what I mean? Like,
talk it out, feel it out.
Yeah. I apologize.
No, I apologize.
Okay. And you know what that sound means. It's now time for the no, the O, and the laugh. It's where this and every show we give out a random hack, fun fact or message, and joke. Today's hack. Kids' toys seem to take over every corner of the house, causing frustration. Before you toss them away in frustration, look how you can use them for use, like old skates, skateboard, or a Tonka truck. Use your child's roller skates as a makeshift furniture mover. So no back strain and effortless furniture rearrangements. This way, I mean, the skates or the skateboard, whatever you use to move the furniture around, I mean, it's probably going to break, but you were going to get rid of it anyways. You know, that way it helps out. It makes it a little bit simpler.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. And the joke. Why isn't there a pregnant baby doll? Why isn't there a pregnant Barbie doll?
Oh,
because she got her tubes tied?
No.
Goddamn. Why?
Because Ken came in a different box.
Let go. Oh man, I never got that. That was good though.
That's the anniversary present every year too from Ken.
Good.
Yeah.
What's up, babe? My dick in a box. Happy anniversary.
And the fun fact. Well, not really a fun fact, but I did want to point this out. But more of a sad reality. Any woman who becomes pregnant, even if that woman suffers a miscarriage, aborts the baby, or the baby is birthed, cells are exchanged between the mother and the child, living cells. So even after birth, abortion, or a miscarriage, those cells of that baby will remain in the mother's body for the rest of her life. Mothers have living cells in her body of all the babies of her entire pregnancies.
Wow.
We also, us in here, and even those that are watching out there, we all have our mother's cells in our bodies. So you guys are all carrying your mothers, with you right now at this very minute. And that's where I believe a mother's intuition comes from. And the message. I wanted to point some stuff out and then kind of talk about the message, but real life parent realizations that I was watching. You only have 20 times to play Tooth Fairy. 13 first days of school. 13 spring breaks. 12 times to play Santa at times. 1 high school graduation, 1 first date, and 1 chance to raise a good little human. With that being said, those numbers are under, 20 and under. There's not a lot of chances. Right. Take the time to spend, your time with your kids. Who cares about, sometimes you have to work, spend a day and play hooky, We've talked about it here on this show. Don't be so confined in time and schedule, and sometimes just step away, smell the roses and be with your child.
Yeah. Big gems.
Yeah. And as we wrap up the show, I want to thank today's guest, Ty and Iesha. Sorry, this thing got messed up. Not that one.
I was gonna say you gotta read your outline to introduce me, motherfucker.
No, I was trying because I still had it on the.
You know me, man. I thought
I know.
Knew me. I thought you knew me.
Yeah. Let me go back. As we wrap up the show, I want to thank today's guests, Ty and Iesha. There we go.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, bro.
Where can they follow you at, and what do you guys want to plug?
I'm at a Ty Credit Guy on TikTok, and then CTS as in Cotton Tree Strong.
Yeah.
Credit on Instagram.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. The event that you have coming up.
Yeah. So I got an event coming up June 18th. It's gonna be a credit workshop. So basically, it's do it yourself. I'm teaching people how to do it themselves. Completely free. It's for the community. Personal and business credit.
Nice.
June 18th is gonna be in Avondale, and if you hit me on any one of my ads on TikTok or Instagram, I could get you all that info.
I was mentioning earlier, I would love to see you, and I don't know if he's doing something or if he has done something in the past, but I would love to have you link up with Brother Anthony.
Okay.
Because he does with a lot of like young men.
Yeah.
And that'd be dope to get them to maybe if you guys can link up and then you guys did like a young community text class or something.
Yeah. Definitely be up for that.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
That'd be tight. Yeah.
And you guys have actually probably noticed today's co-host Iesha. From where?
From I'm originally from Pluto. Plutarian American.
Plug all your stuff, please.
All of it?
Yeah.
How much time we got left?
We got plenty of time.
Yeah. Now I'm not gonna bore you guys with everything, but check me out on Facebook and Instagram. Facebook, you can follow me at Iesha DLK Lee. That's Iesha, my first name, ELIJAHDLKLEE. All my Wealth for Generation stuff will be linked to that. You can even access my Wealth for Generations page. I just announced today our raffle that we'll be doing for the next 4 episodes. We'll be giving away a free 2-week supply of sea moss, $25 value. You just got to check out the show for more details. So check that out, or you can message me through Instagram or Facebook. My Instagram is Iesha_M_Lee. So I have that going on. That's Facebook.
And when is that show?
Wealth for Generations is every Saturday at 1 p.m. You can catch it on
Arizona time,
yes. You can catch it through HabariEntertainment.com on their website, or you can catch it through Habari Entertainment on Facebook, or you can catch it through Habari Entertainment on YouTube. And that's it. I don't really need to throw everything out there. Check out Moss Boss too. That's my lady stuff.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jess.
Yeah. Thank you guys again. I appreciate it. I had fun. I hope you guys had fun. And I want to thank the whole Habari Entertainment. Please like and follow Habari Live Podcast, Habari Entertainment. Please also check out One Love on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Stay safe out there. Stay hydrated and make it a great day. We're out.
Peace.